Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As probably you can tell by the sound of my voice, I am still not perfectly fine as far as the strange flu or whatever is happening right now that I normally don't get. But last night was pretty rough. I had a fever, so today I'm surprised that I actually have much more energy and I'm able to record this video. And I don't use any prescription, any drugs, anything like that. So I'm old school grandma ways healing type of person. Nevertheless, guys, I want to record this video because I have some interesting posts that I came across. Very interesting. And a lot of you are probably aware of who is Marina Abramovic. I put this her name in the title of this video. Although her name, someone who is a Satanist and an artist and is connected to, allegedly, or maybe not allegedly, as you can see in the art in a moment, some very nefarious things. She made some statements about Trump, and I just came across this post that I haven't seen before, so I want to play it for you. We will look into her just briefly because I don't want to stay too much on that energy. We will also look into Greenland. What's going on with Greenland, everyone? They had meetings yesterday. So is Greenland going to go to US or not? What's going to happen with that land? Someone said another Epstein Island, right? Well, I wouldn't be surprised. And what else I have? I will start with US freezing visas to what countries with a very, very strange and I would say creepy prayer at Mar-a-Lago, and that is the Trump's residence in Palm Beach, Florida. So we're gonna start with all of this, guys. Now, before again we jump into the topics, I want to say huge thank you to Herman for your very generous donation yesterday. I very, very appreciate it. Thank you to Michelle as well as John for donating on my PayPal. I am very grateful for you guys and everyone who is ordering my book, Matilda and Odo's Adventures. The link is down below this video as well. Thank you so much. So let's start with something very, very creepy. So here is a post that I came across on Instagram. Let me show you. So here is the post. A Jerusalem prayer breakfast was held this morning at Mar-a-Lago. So before I play this, because there is a video attached to it, I went on the official website because you want to make sure if this is legit or this is some, fake news. But it's not, because Jerusalem prayer breakfast at Mar-a-Lago was January 12th and January 13th. So you can request invitation. Well, it's already 15th today, so it's after. But how did it look like? What is this Jerusalem prayer breakfast as at Trump's estate, Mar-a-Lago? So let's take a look. Let's go back to this post. I will mute myself now because you might listen to some horns. Yep. So I just want to know what those horns were. If any of you know, please put in the comment section, because I am not knowledgeable in that topic, in that field, as far as the horns go. So that was a Jerusalem prayer at the Mar-a-Lago. What kind of God is it? I don't know. Since we are on the topic of horns, let's go to this one. Marina Abramovic, originally from Serbia, an artist, as she calls herself. Here she is with the horns. That's her form of art. Yep. This is Marina Abramovic, everyone. If you don't know who she is, I invite you to do your own research, because I don't want to stay too long on her energy. Her art has a very dark frequency, as you can tell. So why I'm showing her to you? You know, she had many of those so-called parties with human elements to it, let's put it this way. Lady Gaga is deeply connected to her, many celebrities. I came across this clip. It made me ponder, why is she saying that? Let's take a listen.
The best thing happened ever. The Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. That he is the magician of the highest order. That he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order that the human being can find new order. And you know, it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way. It's completely turning things upside down. Because since Trump is around, things are changing. Because we are waking up.
So here this post goes into so-called, you know, tinfoil head stuff, but I wonder, why did she say it, that Trump is the best thing that could happen to us? Someone who is a Satanist, allegedly or not, child sacrificer. Well, if you're a Satanist, that clearly you are a child sacrificer. Why did she say it? Let's continue with this video. I'm not sure about the second part. What really matters to me is, why did she say it? Because she is dark, okay? And if she says Trump is the best thing that could happen to us, then I don't know. Let's continue with this video.
So think of it, in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible spell over the world.
The Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. That he is the magician of the highest order.
Trump is the magician of the highest order. So why did she say it? There are two ways to look at it. First, because maybe there is some truth to it, which sounds crazy from someone like me who actually was supporting Trump for a very long time. Because maybe they're all connected, right? Just saying, some common sense. Now, Marina Abramovic was approached by Zelensky to become the ambassador for Ukraine, or of Ukraine, however you say it. So she's officially not the ambassador, but she created a form of art in Ukraine. I want to show it to you. Let's go to this video. Her art, it's something else, right? Let's take a look.
and Ukrainian presidents gathered for an official ceremony for the unveiling of a new interactive memorial, Crystal Wall of Crying, by world-renowned performance artist Marina Abramovic. The wall is meant to be a symbolic extension of the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem and incorporates crystals from the Ukraine and Brazil in an interactive installation. The 40-meter-long structure now stands in a park built over the site of the Babin Yar ravine.
It's a really wall for healing, and it's wall to remember, and it's wall to public to actually interact all the time. It's not something, I don't like monuments that you have the huge monument and you stand in the front and you look to the monument. It's just like you're voyeur. Here, you have to touch, you have to interact, you have to turn, and you have to, confront yourself with yourself and your own memory. So it's a very different way of seeing art and seeing the monuments.
So she is, I think, at this point, she's 79 years old, I believe. She looks pretty young, so you wonder why. Well, adrenochrome, I'm sure, helps. So let's go now to a little bit different news to shift the gears a little bit from the darkness. Even though this kind of energy, what's going on with US, I don't know, guys. I have no idea. US freezes all visa processing for 72 countries. This will be effective from January 21st. The State Department announced on Wednesday, that was yesterday, it is indefinitely pausing immigrant visa processing for nationals of 75 countries, citing high rates at which immigrants from these nations become reliant on US public benefits. So here are the countries. I think some of them. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua. Let's see, let's scroll through this. Bangladesh, Cuba, Ethiopia, Dominica, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Lebanon, Libya, Montenegro, even Montenegro. What kind of harm from Montenegro, I wonder? Such a beautiful place. Macedonia, Nepal, Nigeria, Russia, yes. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sudan, Syria. Yeah, from Sudan, of course. Poor people, where they escape, right? Uruguay, Uganda, Yemen. So that's what's up, everyone. Okay, now let's go to the Greenland situation, because that's another interesting plot. So what's going on with Greenland? They had a meeting yesterday. The representatives from Denmark and Greenland, I believe, arrived, and they met with J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of United States. How did it go? I will play a video for you from the press conference after the meeting. But let's take a listen to this guy that sometimes we listen to his clips as he's describing what was taking place during that meeting.
We go. So remember, Trump said we're going to take Greenland the easy way or the hard way. Well, it looks like the easy way because there's a major meeting going down right now. So right here, we see Greenland and Denmark officials pulling up to the White House to possibly talk shop. And while all this is going down, I do find this pretty interesting because Verizon has a major outage, leaving millions of people out of service right now, particularly in the East Coast region in DC, where the meeting's happening. So one or two things are happening. This is a major security breach itself, or this is actually induced to protect all that vital information going down in that meeting in the White House. Then right after that, we have the actual White House account posting this where it says, "Which way Greenland, man?" Now, of course, on this side, we have China and Russia alluding to that if we don't take Greenland, they're going to take Greenland and it's going to cost us our national security, right? Well, security may be breached already because this U.S. Navy sailor has just been sentenced to 16 years in prison for selling our secrets to the Chinese. Reports say that he was paid to walk the pier and to see which ships were docked, and he fed them pictures and videos of the Essex, ship locations, and weapons details through encrypted messages from March of 22 to August 23. But two things can be true, because all of a sudden we have a bunch of billionaires interested and investing in rare earth mineral mining to build something called Freedom City. And yes, this is very real, because Peter Thiel has invested over $500 billion into a startup called Praxis to revitalize Western civilization in Greenland. Now, they're saying this Freedom City is going to be an AI hub along with autonomous vehicles, space launch operations, micro-nuclear reactors, high-speed railways, the works. All in all, this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube.
Aren't you getting like sick and tired of this freedom cities, 15-minute cities, all those beautiful lands, natural lands that are going to be destroyed because they want to build that dystopian architecture and the future like that? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. When I look at this, I'm like, this is just destroying the nature completely. So how did that meeting go? Now we take a listen to the officials, representatives from Denmark and Greenland, after the meeting took place yesterday. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from the press. Minister Vivian Motzfeldt and I met with Vice President Vance and Secretary Rubio today. We came here following a number of, how should I put it, remarkable public comments on Greenland and Arctic security. Our aim was to find a joint way forward to increase Arctic security. What can the Kingdom of Denmark do more? What can US do more? What can NATO do more? The Kingdom of Denmark has already stepped up our own contribution by committing additional funds for military capabilities, not dock slates, but ships, drones, fighter jets, etc. And we are definitely ready to do more. The US has already.
Nowy ekskluzywny obiekt mieszkaniowy powstaje na Warszawie. Poznaj szczecińską
A wide military access to Greenland. Under the 1951 Defense Agreement, the US can always ask for increasing its presence in Greenland. And therefore, we wish to hear if the US had any further requests to make in this aspect. We would examine any such request constructively. Greenland is, through the Kingdom of Denmark, a member of NATO and has been that since the very founding of NATO in 1949, and is therefore also covered by Article 5. We have been pushing for quite a while in NATO for a stronger collective role in Greenland together with a number of allies, and we are eager to work with the US on advancing this agenda, and we are prepared to go further. Therefore, our aim was to find a common understanding on all these points and to launch, if possible, further in-depth work to deliver on them. On this basis, we had what I will describe as a frank but also constructive discussion. The discussions focused on how to ensure the long-term security in Greenland. And here our perspectives continue to differ, I must say. The president has made his view clear, and we have a different position. We, the Kingdom of Denmark, continue to believe that also the long-term security of Greenland can be ensured inside the current framework, the 1951 agreement on the defense of Greenland, as well as the NATO treaty. For us, ideas that would not respect territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark and the right of self-determination of the Greenlandic people are, of course, totally unacceptable. And we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk. We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward. The group, in our view, should focus on how to address the American security concerns, while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark. We expect that such a group will meet for a first time within a matter of weeks. And then I will pass the floor to my colleague from Greenland, Vivian Mosfeld.
Thank you so much. Not repeating what already been said here. So I would like to say something in my own language, because there are many, many people in Greenland that follows. And for that, I hope that you will allow me. So, asasaka nunakatika naringira tamas marina susi ullok.
In terms of beefing up security in the Arctic around Greenland. When you hear that kind of language from President Trump about enough is no more than 2 Gulf states, how does that make you feel?
Well, that's actually quite a few questions at the same time. Well, I have known the president for quite a while, also in my former capacity as prime minister in Denmark, and I know his approach. But I must say, and even though he addressed things quite differently from what I would have done myself, there's also always a bit of truth in what he's saying, not about the dog slaves. Well, we also have dog slaves to our special forces. That's the way to, otherwise you couldn't come around in the northern part of Greenland. But I must say that, of course, we share to some extent his concerns. There's definitely a new security situation in the Arctic and the high north. All of us, transatlantic, took the peace dividend years ago, and we have the vision of keeping Arctic as a low-tension region. That's probably also why US themselves have decided to have a much softer footprint in Greenland. During the Cold War, at some stage, they had 17 different military installations and military bases. Now they only have one. They had like 10,000 personnel in Greenland. Now they have around 200. That's not our decision. That's a US decision. And now the situation is entirely different. And of course, we have to respond to this. The big difference is whether that must lead to a situation where US acquire Greenland, and that is absolutely not necessary. I mean, we have the long-lasting diplomatic relation, the longest-lasting diplomatic relation with US that any US ally has, 225 years in a row. And we have a perfect framework which could be used. And therefore, to answer your question, even though we wasn't so successful that we reached, a conclusion where our American colleagues said, "Oh, sorry, it was a totally misunderstanding. We gave up on our ambitions." There's clearly a disagreement. We agreed that it makes sense to try to sit down on a high level to explore whether there is possibilities to accommodate the concerns of the president, while we at the same time respect the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark. So this is the work we will start.
So in a nutshell, Trump says, I want Greenland. We will take Greenland this way or the other. This guy says Greenland does not belong to the United States. It's just a madness when you look at all of this. And I'm wondering, what is really there in Greenland? There must be some very powerful portal or something like that, besides the aspect that, of course, rare earth minerals, or however you call it, and the billionaires, they want to create now, I just learned, the Freedom City over there. But I think it has much more than that to do with that region. There must be some very, very important portal or something like that. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. Again, thank you for watching. Sorry for my health condition, but give me a few more days and I think I'll be perfectly fine. Thank you so much for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel, leaving the comments and letting me know what do you think about the horns in Mar-a-Lago during the prayer. What do you think about Marina Abramovic calling Trump a magician? That's an interesting take, right? And if you choose to support my work, you know, the best way to do it is to become my Patreon member, donation on PayPal, or to purchase my book for children. The link is down below the video in the description box. And with this being said, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye, everyone.